Howdy folks, Little John in the brewery, and brew day. Just a little bit of a variation this week from the normal. I've mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned on any videos, but I have mentioned on live and on the Facebook. What that is Facebook competitions. We see them all the time. You know, a company, you know, they're out there, or a supplier, and they want you to like their page and share it with other people, and as a result, they'll draw one name out and somebody will win a prize. Well, Little John won a prize. Aussie Brewmakers were giving away an all-grain beer kit, a single fin summer ale. I don't mind a bit of the old single fin, it's not a bad drop. So I threw my name in the mix, and bang, lo and behold, I get a message a few days later saying I won. So turned up. They asked me at the time whether I'd be willing to do just do a review on their website. I said I'll do even better. I'll brew it up on the YouTube channel, and I'll do a tasting and the whole bit. So here we are. That's what we're doing today. So before we get into it, big thumbs up to Little John's patrons. Cheers, guys. The support is always very valuable for the channel. Keeps me going. If you're subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. If you're not, hit the button down there in the corner. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, or want to suss out what it's about, the link's in the bottom. Go and have a look. Either way, hit the like button down there as well, because that all helps. Okay, so as I said, yeah, all grain recipe pack. They've sent it out and it's got everything in it you need. So like I said, single fin, big bag of grain. I know it's a single fin, it says on there, single fin summer ale, all grain recipe kit, 23 litres. So, and it's all pre-milled, so yeah, I'm going to worry about it, which is good, because obviously if I didn't have a mill, it'd be no good to me. She came along with a packet. You know, I had opened it, but I just thrown everything back in just to show what it looks like when it turns up. As I said, this is Aussie Brewmakers. Okay, there's two different websites on here. AussieBrewmakers.com.au, and there's another one, it's called allgrainbrewingdirect.com.au. I've not seen the other one, but anyway. These guys have been around for quite a while. I remember Aussie Brewmakers when I first started, or restarted brewing, bloody, near 10 years ago. They were a big supplier, back in the day. So they've supplied instructions, all the information about the beer. There's plenty here. If I can get it. There's 3 pages. So they've got all the breakdown of the what's in here. So the breakdown of the malt bill, Cooper's Premium Pale, Joe White Wheat, Joe White Medium Crystal. The hops that are here, there's Galaxy and Enigma in varying quantities. They've got a different. They've got 30-minute, 15-minute edition, a whirlpool, dry hop. They've broken down American Blonde Ale, 23 litres, ABV. I'll get a snapshot of this and pop it up if you're interested to have a look. But they're giving you absolutely every bit of information you could possibly need, right down to percentages of the malt bill, estimate ABV, gravities, all the rest of it. So bit of a blurb about the beer itself. You've got the brewing notes, and I've read this now. They've obviously talk about making your own water adjustments and stuff like that, and adjusting based on your own equipment. They've done their recipe based on a 72% efficiency. I'll probably find I'm going to get probably closer to 70 with the Brewzilla / a Robo Brew. So they're talking 1046 original gravity, so I'd probably be thinking probably somewhere around maybe a 1044 as the start. So that's all good. There's a full list of methods here, and I said I'm going to go through that in a minute. We'll go through and actually follow the instructions fully. So, but just quickly before I do, I want to run through and show just what's in this pack that come with it. So there's a wall flock tablet, which they tell me to only use half of. Pack of yeast, a pack of M44 Mangrove Jack's US West Coast yeast in. So I'm going to brew with just the one packet. I'm not going to go 2 packets. I know, but I'm brewing the kit as it comes. And there's 3 packs of hops. So dry hop, boil hop, and steeping hops. Okay, so they're all measured out nice and easy in their individual packs. But again, as I said, the instructions actually list what the weights of each different hop. So even if you know, a lot of these packs they just turn up, you've got the grain, you don't actually know what's in them, and I think that's part of the marketing ploy as well, is that you're not learning how to do it yourself, you go and buy the grain yourself. So it's interesting that they've actually done that amount of detail, but I think it's good. So pop this out of the way and put these hops, well, I'm going to put the dry hop back in the freezer anyway for the time being. The other hops can stay out. Righto, so I've got currently 30 litres in the Robo Brew, which is, about 32 litres, which is my full mash and sparge water for this sort of batch. I've got it warmed to 65 degrees. You can hear it going in the background there, it's just kicking back up the temp. So I'm going to take 10 litres out of that, and I'll mash in at 22 litres. That's per my sort of standard sort of mashing. So here we go. So as I said, they've got a full list of instructions, their method and how to do this. So they're saying heat 16 litres of strike water in a single vessel to 67 degrees. Add water profile adjustments at this stage, which I have done. I have added a little bit of calcium carbonate, so a calcium sorbate, a bit of vitamin C powder to remove chlorine. I've added a little bit of gypsum, a little bit of calcium chloride, and a touch of magnesium. More gypsum than chloride, pushing the maltiness. My reckoning is the single fin is a malty pale ale up front with some hop finish. It's not hop driven. It's got nice hop. It's got good hop flavour, but it's still a malt driven pale ale. So I don't want to push the chloride side. 15 litres of sparge water to 75 in a large pot. So they're talking 31 litres. I said I've gone to, it's probably more like 31 and a half I've got in there. I can't get 32 really in the bloody thing. I had cracked grain and mash for 60 minutes at 67 degrees. Okay, well that's interesting that they've got strike water at 67. You'd think you want to strike water a little bit hot, but it'll warm up to that. Okay. After 60 minutes, or mash for 60, okay, they want a 75 degree mash out before sparging with 75 degree sparge water. Total pre-boil volume of 29. Okay. remove malt pipe. So they're working on the basis, and I think it did mention back here that yeah, it's based on using a grain father robo brew, Brewzilla or Guten, so the numbers probably could work. So I think 16 litres of strike water is going to be a little bit thick, so that's the only difference I'm really making. It's going to go that 22 litre mash. So I'm going to get the mash in and we'll get up to 67 degrees. Okay, so I'm just taking out sparge water. Okay, so it's about 10 litres, leaves me 22 for mashing. Okay, water's at 67. Malt pipe in. Alright, we get our grain in. Now I haven't had any rice hulls, there's no mention of rice hulls in the recipe, and I think with the grain bill is not huge, so I don't think we should have any problem. And I'm going to run without the top. I'm not going to put the top screen on. I want to leave this so I can give it a stir if I need to, here and there. So I'll just recirculate straight into the top of the mash. So we mash in as per normal, give it a good mix. Make sure she's all wet. I'll give that 10 minutes and I'll come back, put the pump on. I said so that's a 60-minute mash, so we'll come back in 60 minutes and see how we're going. Okay, so we're just coming up on the end of the 60-minute mash. Now it's telling me for a mash out that after 60 minutes we're going to ramp to 75 degrees and hold it for 10 minutes once we get there. Then we'll be sparging. So we'll get this coming up to 75. While it's happening, I'll make sure the sparge water's at 75 as well. And we'll come back when we're raising the malt pipe and doing sparge. Okay, mash out is done. I'll pause that for a second. Pop the pump off. Now we've got a beautiful circulation. It's been not a problem all the way through. Lovely. So the mashing them out works nicely. Now I gave this a stir about half an hour into the mash, and then just before I went raise the sparge temperature up. Sparge will raise up before I raise up the mash out. But it's starting to settle nice and clear again. So we'll get in here and we'll get this. We'll get the malt pipe up. We've got a very quick run. Probably sparge water up to around 75. Not sure exactly what it is, but it's pretty close. And I'm going to actually throw the mesh screen on just to help with spreading out that large water, not for any other reason. Just so I'm not pouring straight into the grains. just to help avoid getting any channeling through the grain bed. And that's draining. It's probably sparging a little quicker than one would really like, but well. All good. So we've got a quick sparge on. We might as well get this coming to a boil. So adjust our temp back up. Get him open. Then we'll just continue sparging out. I'll get this finished and I'll come back when we've got some hops going in. So I'll finish the sparge, I'll come back and have a quick chat, have a look at the hops and see where we're travelling. Righto, sparge is underway. It's just last bit draining off. So I'll let it do that. It's coming up to a boil. So while that's happening, let's have a bit of a chat about the boil and see what we're looking at. So it says here, we're just finishing the mash out, raise the malt pipe, sparge up to a pre-boil volume of 29. So I'm not sure exactly where we're going to get there. Remove malt pipe, discard the grain. Just pre-boil volume if necessary, as per your equipment, will achieve a 23 litre batch post 60-minute boil. Okay, well, I don't know what we're looking at there. We'll see how we go when it gets to it. So the same for the boil. Bring it to the boil. Ensuring to stir in hot protein break prior to addition of hops. So we're obviously advocating for stirring in your hot break, not skimming it off and getting rid of it. Which has only been seen a bit of lately for some reason. People are sort of doing its rounds again. Hadn't seen it for a long time, anyone discussing that. And again, there's people throwing around, yeah, you should take it off. Anyway. So it says bring to a boil, add 50-minute boil hops. Now it doesn't say Alright. Sorry. Just arranging me procedure for me leg on Monday. Bloody doctors. It's Thursday. They decide they need me to get a blood test before it's done. It means I need a blood test first thing tomorrow morning. It's fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. Idiots. I don't know when they think I was going to get that done. Anyway, I was just saying, it's got. They're saying to bring it to the boil and add 50-minute boil hops. Now, it's not saying how long I need to boil for, so I'm assuming from that they want me to boil for 15 minutes only. Now, they're talking about having 29 litres pre-boil, 23 post, hang on, post a 60-minute boil. It's actually, on the very end of the mash out, it's the very last thing, sorry, 60-minute boil. Okay, probably would have been a good idea if that was down in the 60-minute boil section. Actually he said it was a 60-minute boil. Anyway, all good. So, we're not far off a boil, I don't think. Sounds like the sparge is done, which was reasonably quick. Yep, we're sitting on about probably about 28.5 litres. So we're looking pretty good. We're up around the mark we should be, and we're in the low 90s at the moment. So let that go now. Get through the hot break. I'm not going to worry about showing that on video. I'll wait for next shot until we're adding the 15-minute hops in, which will be these fellas, boil hops, which is going to be 12 grams of Galaxy and 12 grams of Enigma. So we'll see when we're doing that. Righto. Hot break pretty much done. Boil on. 45 minutes, we'll add some hops. Okay, we've got 45 minutes into the boil. So it's our first hop addition, which is 12 grams Enigma, 12 grams of Galaxy. So that'll go for 15 minutes. So here you go in. Give it 5 minutes, so I'll pop in half that Wolflock tablet, and then get the chiller in ready to do its thing. Alright, that's the end of the boil. The chiller's in. I've just started flow through the chiller. Recirc in. Okay, it's not going to come out. Leave it in there then. Pump on. It's moving, so I want to bring this down now to 80 degrees where we'll do our whirlpool. That won't take long to get there. Most of them are there already. At 86, so I will go and shut the water off and come back and we'll get the flame out addition in. Okay, now when I said flame out, I meant whirlpool. Okay, so whirlpool hops, that's 20 gram each of the Galaxy and the Enigma, 40 grams all up. Now, the instructions say with that set to 10 minutes, so we'll do that. And after 10 minutes we put the cooling back on and continue to cool. Right, we're just about at the end of the whirlpool. 10 minutes thereof. Now, the actions. So the instructions here say at the end of the whirlpool to remove the whirlpool hops, allow the water to rest and cool for 10 minutes. That's there, optional. After rest and cool and transfer as per normal. I might pull the hops and go straight to a cool. Yeah, it's shown as an optional, so let's go with it. Let's go with the standard recipe, which says the 10 minutes. Normally a whirlpool would be 20 minutes. Our first edition was 15 minutes, so it's now been in there for 15 minutes of the boil, 10 minutes of the whirlpool, you know, about 5 minutes as I come down to the 80 degrees. So they've been in there for half an hour. So I don't really want them in there for a hell of a lot longer. So so I'm going to pull the hops out and continue with the cooling. So I'll get the cooling done, get transferred to the fermenter. I'll come back once that's all done up and we're getting the final reading. Righto, we're in the fermenter. Now I've got 23 litres, or just a fraction under the 23. Now volumes are good. So wacky crud in there at the moment. I could have probably sat it a little bit longer, but I didn't. Here we go. So hydro sample, and we're well under the target gravity. We're looking at, oh god, well under. About 1038, we were aiming for 1046. Yeah, so that's a bloody bit of a worry. Anyway. That's a concern. I might I'll throw a bit extra malt in there. I'll calculate what I need and throw a bit extra in, just to get that gravity up, I think. Going to be too low otherwise. Way too bloody low. Actually, it's probably more 1040. Yeah, so efficiency's a bit under. Like I said, the recipe was for 72%, so I'll have to calculate what I got with that. May not be too bad, but I'd say I probably should have, that level, probably should have just taken it to 21 litres instead of 23, which probably would have got us closer to that mark, but anyway, it is what it is. So this is at the moment sitting on about 25 degrees, so I will I'll throw some malt in this, get it in the fridge. I've pitched yeast already. This is pretty much ambient as it is. So I'm going to the fridge at, well, they're saying 18 to 23. I might put it on at 18 with just a little bit of pressure, just enough to keep it under control a little bit, not too much. And we're looking at a dry hop, 80 grams total, split between the Galaxy and the Enigma. It's a 3-day dry hop, and they're just saying at final gravity. So we'll see where that turns out to be. So I will calculate the final gravity with some malt, and I'll stick that in the comments down below. So tastes nice. So as I said, yeah, just a bit concerned it's going to be bloody 1038, potentially going to be running at bloody only 3.6, 3.7% alcohol, which is no good. Want a bit higher, so I'll fix that up. So that's me, Little John. Big shout out to Aussie Brewmakers for the beer, and I'll looking to do a tasting and the review on this in, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks time, and I'll see you then. So thumbs up to all the supporters. Any comments, any questions, down the bottom as always. So that's me, Little John. So till I see you again, we're brewing beer, drinking beer, talking beer. Good brewing.